crowns will be given for every soul who partnered with God to rebuild a life. Friends of Triumphant, they're walls to build. They're broken down. I'm ashamed that my own people who left the island has come here and have caught the disease of drugs and hostility. But beyond our own people, there's humanity. And we're learning that we can all, and Nehemiah was smart. He scouted out just a few of them. But he never did it by himself. He gathered priests and kings and other officials from other countries. And he gathered people that lived near that wall, and they built and worked, and they said, we will arise and build. And they got it done. Wow. Here it is. What are the walls in your life that you refuse to let Jesus rebuild? I mean, all of us have some areas of our lives that we, oh yeah, Lord. But may there be some areas that we say, Jesus, mind your own business. We put up that sign, authorized personnel only. And we recognize God is the only authorized person to invade our lives. We're on loan to us. I got to remember, I'm not mine. Yeah. Every time I dedicate a baby, I remind the couple, this is not your child. This child passes through. This is a child of God. And that's why, remember, church folk, we're so good at hating each other in church and being miserable. The person, check this out, the person you like the least, or your worst enemy, is a child of God. Amen. Hello, somebody.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
What if we thought about it this weekend and just started to make a mental list? Where some people, and they may not be on the street, in a gutter, they may not be in the hospital, but what if we asked God, Lord, would you direct me to the people that you've assigned me to build up? Amen. Now check that out. If God puts that person there, then that's your assignment. That means, my grandmother told me, like yours probably did, God's biddings are his enablings. If he's giving you the task, he'll give you the power.
That's right.
Come on, somebody.
Amen.
And so God said, listen, I am going to partner with you to build up lives. I'm making a mental list. Or some lives I can sow into. They may be family, they may be neighbors, they may be at school, they may be in your class, they may even be in your church. Or some lives you can sow into. And as we think and pray about, is that amazing? It's personal. Talk to me. What life isn't related to us? We may not know the genealogy, but what life isn't really related to us? And if we can't feel it, just a reminder, this is a son and daughter of my God.
Yes, sir.
And he's given you strength and salvation, a mind and a body to reach out. The old preacher said, there's some signs of life. And I want to challenge you with the signs of life and pick that up tomorrow. There's some signs of life. And it shows that we as God's people are serving God and serving others. They're real basic. They're not theological. Signs of life, when you roll up your sleeve. When that family of 31 got together to build their grandfather's house that was burned out, I mean, they didn't like have a three-piece suit on and a hat. There's a time we kick that stuff off. They roll up their sleeves. Signs of life. You roll up your sleeve. You get your knees dirty. You get mud on your boots. Signs of life. You outstretch hands. Signs of life. The great English preacher Charles Spurgeon was doing a revival. I love Charles Spurgeon. And it's amazing that here's one of the greatest preachers in history. Sermons just written. I mean, people would go to visit him. And there in Britain, you had a lot of atheists. One day, two atheists were going to worship. They looked, they said, man, I thought you were just at the atheist group. He said, yeah. And what you doing in here? He said, what you doing in here? And they both said, well, I don't believe the man, but I like to watch him burn. Charles Spurgeon would preach the life out of himself. Clear. And they came, and the story says eventually those two atheists gave their lives to Christ. A few months later, after those atheists personally met Charles Spurgeon himself, Charles had run out to get some drink, water, I don't know what it is, coffee, what it is. And he was coming back to the church for an evening revival. He had a meeting, then the evening revival. He was coming by, and there was a wino sitting on the curb in England. The wino said, hey, sir, want a drink? Charles Spurgeon remembered, here's some walls that are broken down. He remembered, this is my brother. He stopped and he sat down beside him on the dirty pavement with his pretty suit. He said, sir, you're so kind. You're one of the kindest men that I've ever met. And he rubbed shoulders with him and he said, tell me your name. And they start talking for about 20 minutes. That man has never had anybody speak to him in over 10 years. Charles Spurgeon didn't know it. He left, he said, hey, my name is Charles. Can I be your friend? Somebody told that wino that was the pastor. A few days later, Charles was in the middle of his sermon. Is there anyone who wants to come to Jesus? Before the words came out of his mouth, a well-dressed man walked up from the back, smiling. And he walked to the front and he came past the pulpit and he hugged him. He said, you're my friend. And Charles hugged him and introduced him to the congregation. There are walls out there just like this drunkard to be built up. It doesn't have to be a preacher. It can be any one of us. Oh, Jesus. That's why we give ourselves away. I give myself away so you can use me. I give myself away so I can pick up someone who's low down. I give myself away so I can stop holding out me from you. I give myself away. I wonder if we could just sing that as we close. And as we sing that, if you just want to make a decision to say, Lord, I'm committing my